Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aviana. This is Aviana's Ascension, and today we are tapping in for our first full moon of 2026. Yeah, so let's get into it. This is going to be a full moon in Cancer. It is happening on January 3rd, but whenever you find this reading is beautiful. I think that, the lesson, the energies will apply whenever you need it most. So say this is December 3rd of 2026, you can still watch it, still tap in. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Of course, just take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And if this resonates for you or you have anything you'd like to add or talk about, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want any more from me, I have all my information down in the description box below. I've got my website where all my services are. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, which is a great idea, especially if you want to take these readings a step further and get rituals and things like that. But yeah, that's my information. I also have a really good deal going right now, $26 2026 prediction reading. So if you want to see what's coming your way for 2026, go to my website and you'll see more information about that. But I'm excited for this full moon. I think this is a great way to kind of kick off the new year. This is a year of the horse and number 1 year. So this is going to be like so beautiful, such an empowering year for sure. Last year was rough. It was year of the snake, number 9 year. Lots of shedding, lots of transforming, lots of just a lot of stuff was going down last year. But this year, we're really turning all of that emotion, all that shedding into purpose, into drive, ambition. And I feel like starting with this full moon in Cancer is fierce. So, in general, the full moon in Cancer is, first of all, the moon loves to be in Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. So, they are very at home with each other. They are very comfortable with one another, which is great. It's a time of really exploring your emotions. There could be some emotional things coming up. This could be spending more time with friends and family, or maybe there are certain family issues that come to the surface, certain things within your home, within your heart space, your intuition. But all of this coming up, again, it may be uncomfortable for some of us, but you're really being encouraged to trust because, again, Cancer and the moon are very, very comfortable with this energy. So just trust that what comes up and how it's being processed is in the best way. This is also a time to be aware of other people's feelings and to be kind, right? So it's not about who's right or wrong. It's just about we're feeling, we're accepting. And while I was shuffling up the tarot deck, I saw the Four of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. And I heard Spirit say, don't let your emotions get you to mess up an opportunity, right? So I feel like there is a lot of abundance, a lot of beautiful things coming our way, especially with the new year and the energy behind this year. Like this is going to be a very productive, kind of jumping timelines kind of year. So I think a great way to start that off is to dissect your feelings and say, okay, what's holding me back? What's not? And how can I approach all of this with love and compassion? Let's get into it. I always like to see what cards are surrounding the card that we're dealing with. I don't know why I do it like this. The only readings I do it like this are with the full moon and new moon. So let's see. So full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. Exactly. So I really do feel like Spirit is saying, okay, take a look at what's holding you back. Take a look at your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and allow yourself to assess them so that way we can move forward in this year of the horse, in this number 1 year, with confidence, not self-sabotaging, because that's what we were doing last year. We did all of that work so that way we could be ready to embody what it is we need to embody this year. So let's put the little cherry on top, put a bow on it so we can move on and take up space and live the life that we know we're meant to live. Okay? Yeah. We have adjustments are required, third quarter moon, right? So things are still cooking, right? Obviously, the year just started, but know that in order for you to embody the things that you want to embody and have that forward movement, we are going to have to adjust. We're going to have to take a deeper look at things and recognize what aspects of us, maybe at one point they helped us, but now they might be holding us back. You know, I literally just did that, and yep, whatever's holding you back, let it go. But I just did that, and I just have been reflecting. Like yesterday, I wrote like a definite chief aim. I was writing my nighttime morning routine and just getting into the habits that actually serve me. And think of it this way: I want you to create a life that you don't need to escape from, right? Through your actions, you are going to create a life for yourself that you don't need to numb yourself. You don't need to, you know, check out by watching hours of TV a day, because the life you create for yourself, the life you live, is something that you truly, truly love. That's what I want for all of us. And I think that's what this first few months of 2026 is going to look like, is analyzing what needs to go, what needs to be embodied more and more, and taking accountability for that and being grateful for that, because it is a gift to be able to create the life that you desire. And we all have that ability. And then we have balance, spirituality, and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So 2 full moon cards in the water sign. So there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of realization, a lot of reflection. And I feel like this is going to be not in like an unbearable, like, oh, kind of way, but it's going to be, because this is a very feminine energy, very intuitive. So I feel like it's really going to look like you sitting with yourself and journaling about it, meditating on it. And, some things may come up that are uncomfortable, but I feel like you can handle it. Okay. But we have balance, spirituality, and practicality. I like that. So knowing when to pull from the spiritual and when to pull from the practical, when to be in your masculine, when to be in your feminine, when to rest, when to take action. I like that. I like that. I think that this might be a bit of a challenging time, just surrendering to what intuitive guidance you receive, to what feels right for you. Not what your brain wants you to do, not what's comfortable, not what's easy, but really allowing your heart to guide you in all ways. Let me sit with this balance, spirituality, and practicality for a second. It wants to tell us something. Learning how to flow, that's what it is. Learning how to flow. And that's why you got to get into your heart and not your head, because your brain doesn't want you to flow. Your brain wants you to follow regimented routine and do what it thinks is safe and comfortable. So when you're trying to challenge your brain by saying, no, let's flow, let's listen to our intuition, let's explore these feelings, your brain's like, no, we're going to die if we explore these feelings. We got to shut them off. We got to numb it. If we feel pain, we're going to die. That's not the case. You're surrendering more and more. Let's see what this incense is doing though, because it's not lit. I don't like it. I have this little thing. It has a little lid that goes on it, but when I put the lid on, it does not burn properly, and then I get annoyed. It's like, why are you sitting here wasting my incense? I should get tongs for this. Kind of living life on the edge, but whatever. All right, let's get into the reading. We're going to use the glow in the dark tarot now. I know before I would use 2 decks, but I feel like we don't need to do that, so we're just using the one. All right, bottom of the deck is the overall energy. We have Justice, the 4 of Wands. Yes, there's definitely a lot of balance that's coming in here. This is really standing in your truth and honoring other people's as well. Recognizing that your truth doesn't have to be what their truth is. Their truth doesn't have to be your truth, but we can all respect each other in the meantime. In the 4 of Wands, this is, spending a lot of time with friends, family, celebration. So you could be spending a lot of time with your loved ones. And I know it's the holidays, or it just was, so that makes sense. Ace of Swords, Knight of Cups. Okay, there's going to be clarity coming in here in regards to something that really does matter a lot to you. This could be another person. This could be a passion, your career. This could have something to do with your own lifestyle, habits, whatever. But something is really pulling on your heart. And at this full moon, it cannot be ignored anymore. Yeah, it's like you may have tried to kind of protect yourself from this or ignore this kind of pulling, yearning. Maybe it was because you didn't want to seem selfish, or maybe you felt like you couldn't trust somebody, or maybe you felt like I'm not ready for that. But it's now or never. So don't be nervous, just go towards it. Some of you, this may have a lot to do with a romantic relationship, but there's going to be unity and success there. You just have to decide to go towards it and not look back. Trust yourself. Okay. Yeah. And then I'm thinking of the Ace of Pentacles, Four of Cups. Like, there's going to be an opportunity that your emotions are going to feel like it's dangerous. Don't go towards that, but you need to go towards it because it's exactly what your heart desires. This makes me think of when I was journaling about the things I was letting go a couple days ago. It's like the ego is clinging to comfort because it's unsure of its worthiness or capability for the next chapter. But dedicating to that growth is exactly the reassurance your ego needs to be able to be ready to move into that space. Not by waiting around and waiting till you feel confident. That's never going to happen. You got to get into it and get it popping now. And then the confidence will come. And then your ego will realize, what was I scared of? You know? All right. Tell us about the opportunity. Tell us what's coming through for the people this full moon. Okay. King of Cups popping out. Cancer. Hello. Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio. So the opportunity coming through, this could be someone coming your way, or maybe you're embodying this King of Cups energy. But this is someone who is very cool, calm, collected. Someone that knows how to sit with their emotions. And that's the opportunity. You're getting an opportunity to sit with your emotions. You can either take it or leave it. We all have free will. But when you sit with your emotions and explore them and really get to know them, not in the sense of like, oh, I feel sad, so let me bawl my eyes out for 10 hours. No, it's about, okay, I'm sad, but why am I sad? Why does this situation make me sad? Am I feeling rejected? Am I feeling unworthy? Am I feeling scared? Am I feeling uncertain about the future? And if those are the situation, then how can I prove to myself, show myself that this one situation doesn't mean the rest of my life is ruined, you know? Okay. Tell us more about the King of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Yeah. So this is the time to do some work about maybe some inner child wounds or memories or past trauma that has been stored within you, right? It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, we can ignore, we can push away, but it will come out whenever we get triggered or in physical ailments. You know, if you got tight hips, tight low back, there might be something in there for you, you know? So, Spirit is saying this is our time to take a look at those inner child wounds, those past situations, that memory that you've been ignoring. Allow yourself to sit in it. And you notice he's in the middle of the ocean. He's not drowning, he's not flailing about, but he's in there staying cool, calm, collected because he knows he has that power, that strength to do so, right? Sitting with your emotions doesn't make you weak. Letting them control you, you know, I don't want to say you're weak, but you know, that might be the fear that you're having. But sitting with them is different than letting them control you. And when you sit with them, you allow yourselves to integrate the lesson of the past pain, because everything happens for a reason. It's our job as humans, as spiritual beings having a human experience, to find that lesson, to find purpose in it. Because when we don't, we just have pain. We just become victims to it. And then that perpetuates the cycle. And we got to cut that out. Okay. All right. Tell us more about the Six of Cups. What is the memory, the pain that we're healing from? Okay. So this is a situation where it was a sense of worthiness, of capability, of authenticity. Okay, with the Nine of Cups, King of Swords. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But both of these cards are about like knowing who you are, knowing what you're about, having a dream come true, living your truth. So maybe there was a situation in the past where you were ridiculed, you were rejected. Maybe you felt like you weren't good enough, or maybe you attempted certain things and tried certain things, but maybe it didn't fully pan out how you expected. This is a situation where maybe there were some mistakes made, maybe some failures happened, and maybe you gave up too soon. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to make mistakes. That's how you learn, that's how you grow, right? That's why, like, when we have ideas and dreams, they don't immediately come to fruition until we're ready. And we have to work towards that and make the mistakes and, find the better ways of doing things, so that way when we do take up that space, we're fully prepared for it. Yeah, I just have this energy like maybe there was some sort of goal or ambition and you were moving towards it, and then some sort of obstacle happened, some sort of setback, and then it kind of really derailed you forever. You never went back to it. Okay. Yeah, see, there's the Four of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Eight of Cups, the Moon. Yeah, the Star card, the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, because of some sort of maybe mistake, maybe rejection, I don't know. Something happened to where now you're like blocking this blessing. And, you walked away from this situation a long time ago, and there's a lot of inner doubt that is circling this energy, even though with the Ten of Pentacles, the Star card, it's exactly what is right for your heart and your soul. Whatever the situation is, it leads to soul fulfillment, but because of some sort of mistake or something, you really question it. You turned around, you never looked back, even though you think about it every day. Okay, tell me more about the King of Swords, Nine of Cups. We got a lot. See, yeah, there's the Three of Swords, the Magician. Yeah, it literally made you like fully question yourself, fully question your ability. What's going on here? Hold on a second, you guys. There's two King of Swords in this deck, and I did not know that. Normally that does not happen. Okay, but yeah, this situation really made you question yourself, your intuition, your ability to co-create, and I'm gagged that look, there's two. That's not normal. I didn't know that. How did I not know that? Because it wasn't meant for me to know until this very moment. But look, we have the Five of Cups and the King of Swords too. Yeah, so it's like you followed your truth. You hit an obstacle, and now you're just totally disappointed in yourself, and you're doubting yourself. You're questioning yourself. What did that lesson teach you? What did that obstacle teach you? Okay, for example, I have my business, right? I have a newsletter. Okay, and I realized recently that my emails were going to spam accounts. Like even I would like send a test email to myself to see like, okay, I made this newsletter, let me send it to myself to make sure all my links are making sense, it's flowing and all that. Those emails started going to my spam, and I was like, where are my emails at? What's going on? So I had to go in and figure out how to like authenticate my email from Google Workspace in order to stop them from sending to spam. Now, mind you, I'm not a tech person. I don't know nothing about nothing. But in order for me to get where I want to be, my emails cannot be going to spam. That's a very basic thing that I need for my success. So that way people can get the readings and the discounts and all that stuff that I give them in the newsletter. So instead of being like, well, it's not meant for me and I'm just going to stop sending out newsletters, no, I went in, I Googled, I said, how do I get this together? And by the way, it wasn't the easiest Google thing either, because you got to do it for your specific website that you're building from. But I didn't give up, and I kept going, and I found some answers. Okay? What are you being taught? Okay, we have the Ten of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, lots of wands. So we got Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and Pisces energy yet again. Okay. So yeah, what's funny about this situation is it was here to help you kind of leave a comfort zone, to help you surrender, to help you learn, have a deeper understanding about the situation. But you took it as like, this is a burden. This is too much. I can't handle all of this. And the thing is, you were almost where you wanted to be. You know, makes me think of this one miner, not miner like a child, but someone that was like gold mining, and it was back during like the gold rush, and he got all this equipment, I think with his like dad or something. I don't remember. I don't even remember the guy's name, but he was digging, and like eventually he just gave up and was like, never mind. And he sold his equipment to this person, and the person like hired a somebody who can like trace the veins of the gold or whatever. Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about, but the story still fits. But so he sold all his stuff to this guy. This guy hired somebody to help him find the gold, and it was literally 3 feet away from where the original guy was digging. So don't give up. Don't give up just because it's hard, or because you might need some other resources or another person. Give yourself the opportunity to learn, to grow. That's the whole point of this human experience, you know? Because that was the exact tool that you needed to help you reach that next phase. But you felt like it was too hard, so you just, kind of gave up. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just get back up on the horse, even if it's a year later, 10 years later, get back up. You don't got to stay down forever. I'm hearing pimp in distress. Okay, Queen of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Your power is non-negotiable. That's what you need to remember. Know that having obstacles, having setbacks, having, inner child stuff, that does not mean you're not as powerful or as worthy or as capable. If anything, that should show you you're more capable, because you didn't have all this stuff handed to you. You didn't have the easiest upbringing. You didn't have all the answers, but you still kept going. That's what you got to remind yourself. Like, look at all the things I've been through. Look at all the things that tried to knock me down before, but I stayed strong. So I'm going to keep staying strong, especially when it's something that really matters to your heart and your soul. It should be no negotiation. Okay, let's dig in. Let's see about the Ten of Wands. Like, what exactly was the obstacle? Pimp in distress. All right, we have the Fool and we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so you were asked to walk away from something. You were asked to leave something in the past, to move on from the chaos, from the illusions. There was something distracting you. I don't think you realized it as much, right? Because maybe, for example, this could have been like a romantic partner that you love so much, but maybe you weren't on the same path. This could be, going out and having a good time and spending your money and, engaging in activities that don't serve your soul. So then the next day, you're not waking up early and taking care of business, Spirit was really asking you to let go of something, but you didn't want to, You said, no, I can make all of this happen all at once. But it wasn't true to you. That's why that didn't work out. And then you gave up on this. So then you're extra like kicking yourself because you're like, dang, that didn't work out. And then now I'm here giving up on my dreams for something that didn't even work out. What are you learning here? You're learning to trust yourself. You're learning to put yourself first, to not, compromise on your goals and your dreams and the life that you want. Because at the end of the day, people come and go, and the people that are in alignment for your life, it's not going to feel like pulling teeth. It's not going to feel like this giant sacrifice. Like, that doesn't have to be the case. Yeah, it's like these were people that, maybe we had a lot of fun together. It was a good time. It was a lot of partying. It was having fun, maybe going on vacations. And it just was like, felt like a good team. But oh, but it sabotaged you in more ways than one. Okay, with the tower, this was not sustainable. This was not meant to, you were not meant to stay here forever, but you sacrificed a lot of things to keep your time there longer and longer. You know, you sacrificed a lot. Okay, you sacrificed divine partnership, love, emotional fulfillment. This is also maybe even sacrificing balance between your masculine and feminine, sacrificing your intuition, your emotional intelligence, sacrificing your power, your ambition. People that are meant to be in your life will not have you sacrificing that. Okay. And if they do, they'll be disgusted with themselves. They'll be like, what are you doing? You know? What are you doing? All right, let's keep it moving. Let's see about this Three of Wands, the Hanged Man. Let's see about that. And what's cool about this, like, Spirit isn't saying, like, well, you chose this, so now it's over forever. No, Spirit's saying, hey, come back. Come back to me. Come back to this reality. Come back to the life that you know you're meant to have. And explore, why did you give up so much? Why did you force so much to be around these people, to be around these things, instead of just honoring your truth? That's an inner child wound for sure. That's like giving into peer pressure, wanting to be cool, wanting to be accepted. The only acceptance you need is from yourself. And if that means you're by yourself all the time, then let that be the case, but at least you're happy. At least you're living authentically. You know what I'm saying? That was cool how I did that. We have the Four of Cups. Okay. See, that's the thing. Like, you were too busy distracted looking at the negative or looking at shoulda, coulda, woulda, like whatever, to realize that taking this step forward was going to put you exactly where you wanted to be. It's okay. We all get distracted. I don't want you to like feel bad about this or judge yourself for it. But again, those uncomfortable feelings are a necessary part of this because it lets you not do that again. Okay? You're like, ooh, I remember when I did that last time. Didn't feel good. Not going to do it again. Yeah, because it blocked you. It blocked you from your truth, from your abundance, from forward movement. That was one hell of a distraction, I'll tell you what. All right, let's see about this Queen of Wands, Two of Pentacles. And this is just fix your crown, get back on your throne, remember your power. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Realizing what true happiness is for you. Recognizing that, maybe, doing my shadow work and healing my inner child, healing the parts of me that think I have to sacrifice to be loved. Maybe I should focus on that. Yeah, it's time to do that work. It's time to take a deeper look at the things that are holding you back from your emotional fulfillment, right? King of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Six of Cups. It's time to look at it. So that way it doesn't self-sabotage you anymore. Because at the end of the day, you know who you are. But there's that part of you, once it gets that inkling of like, oh, they're going to accept me, then you'll throw it all out the window. We can't have that. We can't have that. You got bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? So allow yourself to take a deeper look. All right, last little thing I'm going to get into, then we'll get a few more oracle cards. I just want to look at the Fool card and the Six of Swords. Like, what is it that you need to let go of? What is it that you need to leave behind? Let's see. Tell me more. Whoa. Tell me more about the Fool and the Six of Swords. You got to be strong with whatever this is, because whether you like it or not, the new beginning for you is going to be on your own. right? Because you still have growing to do. You're not even at your fullest potential. So sometimes we want to take people with us, but they're not going to be able to measure up when we get there. And then they're going to be dragging us down, and we don't have time for that. Oh, there's the Emperor and the Empress, the Five of Wands. Yeah. I might even clarify the Emperor and the Empress there. But what you need to leave behind, first and foremost, is negative energy. Like people that are fighting, people that are complaining, things that are negative. The news, like if you're always seeing about how somebody's dying or some horrible things happening, give your mind a break. Like we are not meant, like our brains are not meant to consume that much all the time. We're not meant to be that aware of every little thing because it's too much. And I'm not saying these things are small and like irrelevant, whatever, but it's like if you can't do something about it, you have to think about your nervous system and back up off of it. It's great to be informed, but what do you do with that information? If you just sit and stew about it and get scared about it, get fearful, get angry, it's not serving you. Now, if you want to start some protests or, maybe, run for office of some sort or do some charity work or start a nonprofit, that's one thing. But just having this information just to get yourself upset, what are we doing? Because that's part of that. It's to get you fearful. It's to get you upset. And it's to get you out of your power. If you can't handle being aware of these things without giving your power away, then you have to take a step back. You got to regulate your nervous system. You have to do that inner work because you showing up erratic and frantic and scared is not helping anybody. Strengthen yourself and then you can show up for the world. Okay? Yeah, the Queen of Swords, Nine of Swords, Four of Wands, Justice. Okay, I like it. Yeah, you got to get control of that anxiety, that overthinking. You're very sensitive. That's why you have to be aware of the things you're consuming and exposing yourself to. If it's not serving you, you got to take a step back. And what's beautiful, what we're going towards, the Emperor, the Empress, the Four of Wands, Justice. Just total balance, total unity, happiness, and fulfillment. But you have to co-create that. It's not going to just fall into place for you. You have to take a look at the inner child, the wounded parts of you, the stored trauma and memories, and you got to work on it. You got to release it. You got to integrate it. And then you got to be accountable while you're doing that integration to not expose yourself to things that are upsetting. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't have the luxury of not knowing what's going on in the world. You do. Okay? I understand. Listen, I live in America. I get it. It's crazy out here. But what is that going to do for me? You know what I'm saying? Like there was at one point when I was like seeing the stuff on the news because like when I go to the gym, the news is on and like different channels, whatever. But sometimes the certain equipments I use, it's like the news is right there. And I look at it and then sometimes I'm like at one point I was like, maybe I shouldn't even be doing my business. Like maybe that's not what people need. Like it feels like who's going to want to spend their extra money on a tarot reading in this economy? But we need it now more than ever in this type of environment. That's what paying attention to that negative stuff will do. It will start making you question yourself. And we can't have that. We need people like me and you, the sensitive people, the light workers, the empaths, to be locked in because we need y'all spreading that frequency on the earth. That's why we're all here right now. Okay? All right. Let's close it out with some ooh. I sound like an old lady sometimes. All right, we'll take that. But we're going to close it out with some oracle messages. And again, if this resonated, let me know with a like, a comment, definitely subscribe, and sign up for the newsletter, okay? I send it out day of the full moon or new moon or once a week because I do a weekly reading. So if you want rituals, meditations, yoga to go with your full moon or new moon reading, sign up for our newsletter. All right, let's close it out for the people. Please and thank you. Yeah, this is a big release. Okay, we have full moon in Leo, full moon in Scorpio, full moon in Pisces, full moon in Cancer. Everything is big and ready to be released. All right, we have don't let your past hold you back, South Node. Exactly. Just because this was a story or a narrative that you learned from childhood or from a situation or whatever does not mean it has to be your story forever. Be accountable for that. If it does not serve you, if you're tired of, if you're saying, like, why is it always me? Why does this always happen to me? Take a look in the mirror. Nothing can come to you that you are not in energetic alignment with. So instead of sabotaging yourself and walking away from the hardship of going towards a better version of yourself, take a deeper look. Okay? Take a look in a book. Just kidding. I don't know the words to whatever it is I'm singing. I think it's like it doesn't matter. Okay, it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Exactly. And Scorpio is all about doing that dark energy work. Its ruler is Pluto, like the farthest little, I guess not a planet anymore, but farthest little thing from the sun. Don't be scared to go into that dark space. Do some shadow work meditations. There's a million on YouTube. And I have a soul alchemy ceremony. If you need help with this, I will walk you through it. I will be your guide. I will help you. And through my ceremonies, I show people how to do it for themselves. I did it for myself, so I can help you. Last card, don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. Yeah. Don't be proud of being a victim. Don't hold on to things and be like, see, this is what happened to me. This is why I'm like this. What is that doing for you? It's keeping you stuck. It makes me think, listen, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I watch reality TV. And I was watching this show called Below Deck. I like it. Boats and stuff. And this one lady on there, her name's Riley, mind you, she might have grown since then. I don't know her life. It's an old season. But like anytime they were like, because like how the crew works, it's like there's like a hierarchy, and they're at sea. There's no democracy. If one person that's above you tells you to do something, you do it. No questions asked, no attitude. And for some people that would not work. Like me, I don't know if that worked for me. As long as people were respectful, it'd be okay. But if they got a little, but it's kind of hard to say that because there's not a lot of people. They have like these rich people that get on the boat and they have all these demands and they want all this stuff. So it's like there's not a lot of time to be like, holding somebody's hand through the process or caring about their ego, right? And so Riley, anytime someone would tell her something, or she felt like, you guys want me over here because you think I'm not strong enough or whatever, she would go off and be like, I told you, this is da 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 da, and be like getting mad and stuff. And she would blame everyone else. But the thing is, and this is what the captain told her, that he said, sometimes it's how you react to people. If you want people to treat you differently, you need to react to them differently. Don't say, well, they're being mean to me, so I'm going to be mean back. What's that doing for you? It's not helping at all. So instead of dragging around this anger of past pain and being like, no, I'm like this because of this. Is that what she would say? She'd be like, well, my dad's like that. You're not your dad. Okay? You're not that little kid that's still in that situation. So sit with that version of you. And then once you sit with that, maybe you can sit with the version of your father in a meditation. But just saying, this is how I am, this is how my dad was, that's how my mom was, this is how I grew up, this is how my ex was, and this is why I feel this way now. Great. What are you going to do about that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm very blunt about stuff like this because it's like, my job here is to help people become the best version of themselves, to help people move past their limiting beliefs and their fears and their doubts. I can't do that by holding your hand through it. I have to rip off that Band-Aid and say, look at that. What is that? Talk to it. What does it need from you? And it's through that process that people change their lives. It only takes a few sessions with me to get it together because I'm not playing with nobody. And it's not like I'm mean and aggressive about it, but it's just like, listen, you can't fake the funk with the funk master. Now be real about what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you're going through, what is the story you've attached to it. And how can you make that work for you? You know, I'm sure if Riley eventually goes to, some anger management or, finds purpose in that, then she'll be like, I had a dad that acted this way and I acted that way for a while. But because of seeing how negatively it impacted myself and others and remembering I didn't like the way it felt when my dad did it to me, I changed. And I can show others how to change. You know, it's nice when you can resolve conflict and stay in your power. It's nice not being so reactive. It's nice not letting your past define you and deciding for yourself, I'm going to make this my life. I'm going to make this my life. And it may be hard. I may not know how to get there entirely, but I'm going to show up every single day and commit to it. That's all you got to do. Just show up. Start with meditating. Start with journaling. Because you got something big coming your way. And I'm not going to sit here and let you self-sabotage it. No, sirree, blah. All right. All right. That is your reading. Thank you for watching. Again, if you would like anything from me, I've got all my social media, my email, my website, all down in the description box below. So check it out. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with a friend. Help me stop working in the restaurant. No, eventually I'll get out of there, but I know I'm learning and I'm taking my time. So gorgeous. All right. Love you guys. Bye.